What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spider-Man in Review / our Venom review. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
I don't know.
It wasn't in the movie.
Oh, you're right, it wasn't. Over there, the glue, Kevin Coelho. Is that what you do when Tim intros you normally? You just give a nod?
I mean, I do something different
Kevin's
every
just
time.
trying all sorts of new things.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't be pegged down. You can't put Kevin into a corner.
No, you can't.
Mostly because
Can't
of
do
the
it.
corner.
What would happen in the corner?
What's gonna happen in the corner, you piece of
Where you
shit?
go? Why couldn't you put Kevin in the corner? And the guy making him laugh himself, he's laughing himself out of the room. The producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino. Thank you, Cool Greg. Portillo, Portillo's
son
here
of a
too.
bitch.
Portillo's here too. Hold on.
Cool, Greg, why are you getting water? Can I get water with ice?
There's nothing over there for you. Go find Cool Greg.
It's been one of those days.
What happens in the corner, Nick?
Nothing happens in the corner.
As I'm sure
You just
many
don't
of
like
you
corners.
know, here at Kind of Funny, we do a series called In Review, where we review different movie series, usually leading up to a movie. We have been in the thick of it with the Spider-Man movies. That's right, the non-MCU Spider-Man movies, seeing and ranking Amazing Spider-Mans, the Raimi Spider-Mans, and all that jazz. Venom is the final one for this run. Of course, though, if you've never seen an In Review episode, there's all these bits and things. We'll do those for some of them. And then, of course, we're doing a review of Venom the day it came out. So usually in an In Review, guys, I go through and I summarize the plot. We're not going to do that here as usual because this is a day of review. You're meant to be watched right after you see the film.
Unfortunate, too, because in this movie, plot, not a huge deal for them.
We'll get to that in a second.
really
If you've
care about
never
the
watched
plot
one
so
of the
much.
reviews, though, we do it spoiler-free, then into spoilers. So spoiler-free will just be the discussion of what we think of it, if the people should see it, so on and so forth. Then we'll get into the more in-review section.
Now, are we
As a
going to
bridge
do
there.
any predictions as to where this might rank when we do, in fact, when
100%.
Tim comes back? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think
Because I have my feelings.
Tim
on
wanted to
this.
avoid that shit, and
Yeah.
we shouldn't vote without him and all that shit.
No.
You guys didn't give me that. You didn't give me that.
I think here's
when
my
fucking
thing.
Ant-Man came out, I came in. There was like homework to do. Everybody done all my things.
Now, here's the thing. As the current president, ambassador, I'm not the president.
Of the World
but
Championship?
As the emissary of the president, Johnny Ace, we could make a new rule that if there is one of your bloodline in the office, then he gets to vote as your proxy.
He didn't watch the movie.
Doesn't matter. Does he need
all
to?
right,
Does he really need
all
to?
right. Spoiler free for the first part of the video.
Yeah.
Venom, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Nick Scarpino, what did you think?
It's tonally all over the place.
All over the place.
It's weird. There's not a lot to the movie. The action sequences really didn't do it for me.
You didn't like the one with him fighting all the cops or whatever?
Yeah, it was okay. It was fine. But the thing about me is like the thing about the movie that struck me is I was like, I like Venom, but I don't like Venom as the good guy. I like Venom when someone has to fight Venom because he's really scary. That to humanize him a little bit.
Yeah.
There was just so many elements to this that were off. And Kevin and I kept giggling, but we were giggling at the wrong parts.
Sure. Yeah.
We were giggling at things
Bad
that weren't
lines,
supposed to be funny.
bad
Yeah.
delivery.
Very
Really,
bad
really
lines,
bad
very bad
lines.
delivery. The whole thing, like we read an article a few days ago that was talking about how they cut like 30 or 40 minutes out of the film. There was some
Please
extra
don't
that-
jump ahead.
I apologize.
As you know, Tim usually does trivia for the movie.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy says his favorite 40 minutes of the film were cut.
Yeah.
And also he wishes it was rated R. And also there's nothing on my phone except a text from Goldfarb.
Yeah.
There was one other one too. He wishes it was rated R and that he wants to fight Spider-Man.
My thing is, I love that. I wish this was rated R, and I walked out of the movie
Wouldn't have saved it.
thankfully thinking, I'm glad they cut that 40 minutes out.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
someone at Sony was like, listen, this movie is not good. So the least that can be is like the very least we can do for audiences is get them in and out in
Get
about
him
an hour
out.
and a half.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you think?
Man, it just wasn't good
Sure.
at all. It didn't need to happen. It really shouldn't have. Shame on you, Sony. Shame on you.
Damn.
Well, no, see, I wouldn't go that far. 'cause
No,
I had,
shame.
He just shamed him. You can't unshame him.
There were-
Once you shame, you can't unshame.
I had like it's weird. Let me back up because I don't want to paint this in like a total negative light. I actually had fun watching this movie.
No,
but it's because it's such a train wreck.
Yeah, but, like,
that the
that's-
parts that were fun, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I actually I thought I was gonna hate Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy. It's getting confusing now because all the Venoms and
Hardy
Spider-Mans are
boys.
named Tom. I actually liked his goofiness. I liked the Michelle
you?
Williams back and forth.
It
I was
just
like,
didn't-
this is cool, but no one else in the universe was that.
I don't
So it
think
was
any of
weird.
that like made any sense. It's
No.
just like, why is this character like this?
He was kooky.
He's just who he is.
He tried to bring a different
yeah,
dimension
but
to
he's
him, and I
also
give him
just
credit
like
for that.
stupid.
What
like
he was stupid. What I appreciated about it was, and this isn't a real spoiler, so nobody calm down, is the fact that he was shitty to Michelle Williams. in a thing where I was like, oh, don't do that. And then he did it. And you're like, oh, and then I was like, oh, right. I forgot that even Eddie Brock pre-Venom isn't supposed to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a terrible guy, but
morally
shitty,
flexible.
like a shitty person.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly, I guess, yeah.
But still, I was, well, I don't want to get a spoiler. I don't know if it counts as a spoiler, but like when his whole life falls apart, I was like, over that?
Hey, man.
You know, over that?
He was getting too close. He was getting too
But
close.
like,
to the
too close
truth.
to the sun.
Exactly. Andy knows. He's read his books.
The symbiote gets off your body because it's hot up there.
Exactly. Andy, what did you think?
No, because of the vibrations.
I didn't hate it, shockingly. I thought I was going to walk out offended like I was after Suicide Squad.
Sure.
Where I felt like I was personally wronged, you know?
Sure.
No.
I thought it
wasn't a DC movie, so you're fine.
I still thought I thought there were a lot of fun moments. Again, terrible writing across the board. Like so many moments where you just sort of cringe and feel embarrassed to be in the theater.
Like every time the symbiote talked to him, and you were like, why does the symbiote like a goofy like comedian? That's weird.
It wasn't until halfway
so
through
weird.
that you get that that's the vibe, and I liked it. Like it was done.
I liked the concept behind it, but the
Yeah.
execution was really, really not done.
Oh yeah,
well.
it looks like there was
wasn't-
14 or 15 different directors on this.
Yeah, it just like every time he talked, like he was goofy, so the symbiote needed to be like dead on, like
Say symbiote. Say symbiote.
symbiote.
No,
symbiote.
he's trying to do his Nick thing.
No, I'm actually not. How is it supposed to be said?
Symbiote.
Symbiote.
For years,
But in
we
the
all
movie-
said symbiote. They say symbiote.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But
I'm trying
like,
to
I
do
feel
it
like
right,
they're
'cause
just doing it to be assholes.
You guys are on the wrong
Well,
side
you're
of
not
history.
allowed to say that when you were being an asshole to me in the car. Where you're like, oh, why didn't have the white thing in his chest? I'm like, well, then there's no Spider-Man in that universe. Like, it's not about Spider-Man. I'm like, that's a stupid retcon, and we all fucking know. You're like, well, no. And then I think you ended the conversation. Well, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Did somebody throw something on the ground?
I was tired.
No, like I just feel like I like the concepts they were going for, and that's why I think I found the movie ultimately like kind of enjoyable. So I was like, I see what you're trying
Right.
to do here. You're just missing the mark pretty much at every turn.
It was still I still thought it was a bad movie, but
Yeah, definitely.
I am a little bit
fun
happy
at parts.
with all of the reviews that we read because that lowered my bar so
Yeah,
low.
but like I feel like you guys went in there with the bar so low, and then you watched, and you're like, oh, this is better than absolute trash, and it really isn't that much better. Like, it is just.
Just at the very least a cohesive story.
My
So
thing-
that's what you could
but
say.
like the
My whole
story
thing
is so
was,
dull.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
fine. And like, again, I do think it's because it's been drug into the street and beaten to death
Yeah.
by critics already. Whereas, and I definitely feel that, yeah, Suicide Squad, right? I left like, what the fuck did I, why? You know, whereas this was like,
Yeah.
I was like through the movie, I'm like,
whatever.
thinking back of all these movies, I'm like, this is definitely not the worst movie I've seen in the
Yeah,
Spider-Man
I agree.
in review or whatever. And it's just like, okay, cool. Like I think the main problem is the tone, that it doesn't have
Yeah.
one. Because there were definitely parts where like I liked the symbiote when he talked to him sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then I
yeah.
liked when it was sci-fi sometimes.
He
And it
calls
was just
him a
like,
pussy. I was like, all right.
yeah, there was like little things like that, right? And even when he was like talking to when
That's
the
a spoiler, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, who the
It's
fuck
not.
cares
It's
about
not a
Venom?
spoiler.
You know
No,
what
I
I
just
mean?
mean, should we go into spoiler territory
Fine.
so we can talk
well,
specifics?
I mean, it's that. Yeah, sure, fine. But what do you want people? Should people see this?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
let's not. No.
Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think this movie should have been made, and it sucks that like we got a bunch of cool scenes that like should have like deserved to be in a better movie.
Sure, Andy.
I think you have to watch it to prepare for part 2.
Wow. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You think they're gonna make a part 2?
I mean,
the joke.
Rude, I
That's
don't.
true.
I don't
Sony
put it
still
past
owns the
Sony.
rights,
I
yeah.
don't put it past Sony to do this again. Like,
Oh, they'll make a part 2 if this
It
makes
does
money.
well, and it
Yeah.
will. It will.
Will it?
I think
It's gonna make
so.
some money, I think. I
Because
don't
people are
think
gonna
it's
talk
gonna
about it and be like, close enough.
I don't know because I mean let's
Idiots.
put it this way, like the one issue that I think this movie's gonna have as far as the marketing is that Venom is like it's not a tremendously well-known mainstream character. Like Spider-Man has baked in sort of marketability. Venom is just such an odd thing to make as a standalone movie, and
Yeah.
we've said that since the get-go. You're like, really, just a Venom movie? Like no one's gonna fight Venom? Oh, Venom's a good guy. Oh, that's weird.
yeah,
Anti-hero.
Anti-hero. All right.
No,
The world
he's-
has enough superheroes. Did you read the poster? Come on.
No, I don't. Well, they were trying to give me a poster as I left, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Guys, like, "Do you want a poster?" I'm like, "Does anyone want a poster?"
I was waiting outside because I had to go pee, And so I got to watch the first.
You were gone for like 40 minutes
no,
of this
I
movie.
wasn't. You're such an
I
exaggerator.
looked over to Kev because Joey at one point, for everyone out there, spilled Reese's Pieces. It
was so funny. The quietest part of the movie.
Quietest part of the movie. They just slowly tipped over, and as they did, they started to slowly spill out, and then a rainfall for 5 minutes, and then a trickle, slow trickle.
And then she
Joey
laughed.
was paralyzed with laughter.
But it sounded like she was crying.
It's like, Joey, pick him up. And she's just
so
laughing.
good.
And I looked over to you to make fun of her. You were gone for it the whole time.
God, why can't you be there for
annoying,
Nick
Andy.
Scarpino?
I was
Before the
I was
movie.
gone for like 10 minutes, maybe.
It was good, Joe.
You want to
It was
defend
good.
yourself here, Joey? You want to get on the shock mic?
There's
Joey,
no
that was
defense.
hilarious.
There's no
That was
defense.
real
You can-
funny
you can-
stuff.
Zero defense. I just spilled something, that's all.
Now you could be the butt of all the spilling jokes for a while.
Okay, I had to endure a lot of party mode jokes too. It's been a rough Joey couple weeks.
Everyone's always talking about how clumsy
I
never
definitely
spilled
don't think
shit.
this is a movie you need to see.
No.
I don't think it's
think
the
it is
worst
either.
movie we've seen lately. It's a fine, weird movie that doesn't know what it wants to be.
This is the thing I always think to myself. I'm like, if I had nothing better to do on a Saturday afternoon and I want to just eat some movie popcorn and drink a gigantic soda and watch something dumb and fun when I go see this movie, and like, no, I just don't think
Right,
so.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think it's just not really. It's just dull.
Kevin makes
Someone
a good
said
point that there's a lot of there's cool scenes in it
Yeah.
and cool
Yeah.
moments
We'll
in it,
talk
but it's
about
just
them in a
not
minute.
surrounded by a great movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect way of saying it.
Then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go into spoiler discussion. This is where the gloves come off.
my
If you
coins
haven't
back.
seen Venom, go see it, and you can restart this video there. You can share it with your friends. You can put it on repeat at work and just let all the computers at work. You go to an Apple store, put it on, repeat there.
God, we need the
Crank
views.
up them fucking views. You know what I'm saying?
Help us out, please.
Yeah, so you can spoil whatever you want. Now, what do you want to say, Nick?
It's interesting.
Carnage, bro.
My legs were broken. Now they're not.
God, so many of those scenes. So many of like, hey, exposition. And it's just like, all right, cool, great.
It sounded like Tom Hardy was sedated the whole time.
No, you know, like the thing is, I watch that and I'm like, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to not play the everyman hero guy. Like he's trying to bring an added dimension to this role of something because he's actually a really good actor, and I totally get that. The problem is he's kind of out there, and the tone of him and even Michelle Williams, who I'm sure they worked together, and they were like, let's make these characters a little more comic booky, a little more out there, whatever. I'm like, all right, that's weird, but I'm kind of buying it. Then we cut over to the bad guys group, and they are fucking sedated. They are not ominous at all. Oh, as a Riz Ahmed is kind of just
He was so over the top.
No,
like,
but
in,
not
no, but like
really,
in moments,
though, like-
he was such a like, I'm an evil Elon Musk, and it was like, all right, dude.
But not.
He was
but
my
yes,
least of the problem
but-
with the movie. I
But
thought
see,
he was-
you go to
I thought
that,
he
and then
did
you cast
fine.
Jenny Slater, I think it's his last name, as
The
the doctor, and she's a great comedic actress, but adds absolutely nothing to this. At some point, she has a literal alien about to fucking invade her body, and the best she can muster is this. That's it.
And then they cut away
and
and
they
you
cut
hear
away because they're
screams.
like this, and I know why, because they probably had nothing because they didn't. There
Or
was
they
no,
had an R-rated scene.
like the entire emotion for everyone else that wasn't Tom Hardy in the movie was like fucking right here between 0 and 5, and
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's like, well, I guess I'll make up for it because I'm gonna be between 0 and 1,000 at times.
One thing that I noticed with a lot of his scenes was I can imagine YouTubers doing, you know how they made like the horror version of the Dumb and Dumber trailer?
Yeah.
Remember that? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can picture them doing like a sitcom comedy version of
Sure.
a lot of his
Yeah.
scenes because a lot of them were just goofy and weird.
adding a laugh track to it would do a
Yeah,
lot. Would
exactly.
do a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
Yeah, I would love to sit in the room and be like, what's the tone? What was the original concept behind this that you guys were going for? Because you're sure it was weird. That and I know we're talking about a movie where space aliens invade people's bodies and one of them decides to become a hero and fight the other one. That
Not
was
even a hero.
an anti-hero. But like that switch
I mean,
was
you
really
call him a
weird.
hero. He ended
Oh,
up
the
saving
switch
a
was
bunch
like
of people.
that, and when he's like, "Why?" and he's like, "Well,
Because of you.
Well, not even that. When he's like, "I'm a loser on my planet. I'm not," and I was like, you know what? That's a funny reason
But
for
that didn't
this.
fit the tone
I totally
of that
agree.
particular part
and
of the movie.
then, but really, what changed your mind? You did, Eddie. Like, wait, why?
Why?
I was calling
wish-
you a parasite a second ago, and then my friends who you like now
Tried to kill you.
Yeah, tried killing you.
Yeah.
The thing. Yeah.
I would have been way
It was very
happier if
weird.
this was a prototype movie. Is that the?
Yeah, that was a game called
Because like that, this what connection did this really have to, like, aside from him being Eddie and them calling it Venom?
Yeah.
And he used to
What,
work
you know?
in New York, man.
But like you know,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
At the Daily
Daily
Globe.
Globe.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess these things are connected. Jameson's son's dead, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
I
mean,
loved-
What did he say?
Jameson was the
Astronaut.
The astronaut.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Jameson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, Jameson's still alive.
Jameson's still alive. I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool.
But
touch.
then it, like, killed him in the, like, when it left. I assumed it killed him. It was
Yeah,
killing
yeah.
everyone else.
My big problem with the movie is that it just doesn't, like, the world just really doesn't feel real. And like, I know that's really silly to say, and I always get torn apart when I say that because they're like, people are like, oh, you're talking about a comic book movie. And I'm like, yeah, but Marvel does such a great job kind of establishing like what reality is
Right.
in most of the movies. And the problem with this is we have a movie where somebody, this character that's literally just across the bay has this like unbelievably, like, if I saw that guy in that, I'd be like, that's definitely a villain. Like, that guy's a fucking villain.
That
right?
was such a cool building, though.
It was a cool building, and I wish they built it. It was kind of dope looking. But I'm like, if Elon Musk took that over, like, super villain palace, right? And then he's literally waging drone warfare on the streets of San Francisco, which is not a very big city, by the way, for everyone out there. Like, if someone was doing that, there would be a massive shutdown in the city and a huge police presence going, what the fuck is causing these drone bombs? But I mean, it would be a terrorist attack for all intents and purposes. And it's just, that's never addressed.
No.
And Jenny Slade's character is a doctor and seems conflicted that her boss is torturing and killing homeless people, but not that conflicted. You know,
I mean,
like,
the logic leaps in here are all over the place. I
just
mean, like when
fucking all
Tom
off.
Hardy invades and Michelle Williams and her new boyfriend are at the nice restaurant and he like,
Yeah.
gets in the lobster tank and they take him then and do the thing and then it's just like, all right, I'll call you with the results. I mean, you just saw the guy lose his fucking mind in like a
Let's
Michelin
strap
star
him to a
restaurant. Like,
table.
yeah, I don't think you're gonna let him go, Doc.
Shout out to that guy. I don't know the actor's name, but he's in Veep, and he's awesome in Veep.
He is in Veep. That's where I
He's
knew him
really,
from.
really
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
in Veep.
yeah.
He plays Dan.
I thought he was great in here. Like,
he wasn't-
when
yeah,
we
I
first
got
met
it.
him, I was like, I hate this guy. I hate this lady.
Yeah.
And then, like, moments later, I was like, look at him. He's vouching for me. His doctor. It was a good
I
call.
never warmed up to Michelle Williams' character.
Me either.
I thought she
it
was
was
awkward in the
kooky.
beginning,
It was really
and then
Oh,
when
man.
when she came in as She Venom,
Oh,
you're like,
terrible.
all right, that was cool. Like the
I
She
hated it.
Venom
You
part
hated
was
it?
cool.
I hated it.
He needs the wigging out.
Is it a wig? I don't know. Wigging out with Scarpino.
It's been a while, ladies and gentlemen, but welcome back to Wigging Out. I got to tell you something. I didn't notice it at first, but Joey nudged me, and she was like, what is that abomination on Michelle Williams' head? And sure as shit, you look at that thing, I'm like, that's the worst wig I've ever seen in my life.
Whoa.
Worse than Angelina Lily.
That was her
yeah,
actual
again,
hair.
that's real hair.
I don't want to get into that because I've been
that's
her,
real hair.
her legal department has contacted me and said it's
cease and desist.
cease and desist. It's real hair.
But how can we believe your opinion here of this one when you got duped so bad by that one?
Oh, you have bad opinion.
And by
Remember-
Jacob Batalone.
Yeah, you
I
never
have
caught him.
Backup here, Joey.
Good call. Yeah, good call.
He got,
It's a wig conspiracy.
he got fucking duped by Ned from Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's one of those
the
things where
fuck out of
you
everyone.
guys,
That's a good
all
wig.
kidding aside, did you think she was wearing a wig?
No, I don't pay attention.
I think it's a terrible
didn't
wig.
think so.
No, I
If
didn't
it's
don't
terrible,
understand.
I'll notice. So it couldn't have been terrible.
Joey, I need backup here because they're telling me that the wig conspiracy I'm just too far out in the wig conspiracy. What do you think? What was the percentage of wig that was on Michelle Williams'
She looks
head?
like Elvis.
I
when
think
she
it was
does
at
that,
least
like,
half of it that she was wearing a wig.
Why? Why
I
did
don't
they
know.
do that?
Maybe she
It
cut her
looked
hair
really
reshoots.
bad at the beginning,
Yeah.
to the point where like that was one of the first things I said to Nick.
I
in the
noticed
movie.
one thing I noticed that was really bizarre, but towards the very beginning of the movie where Tom Hardy's in bed and he gets woken up, they have that little like cute scene or whatever,
Wasn't
and then
that
it wasn't very
What?
cute. No. Where
It was weird.
The pillow throwing thing? Is that
yeah,
not a
it was
normal thing?
fine, but okay, but granted, through that whole scene, I was like, maybe this movie won't be so bad, you know?
And it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
The setup, the first like 30 minutes, I was like, okay.
But then they show him afterwards
we're
on
speed
the
along
street.
here, but that's okay.
Yeah,
And I was
exactly.
like-
It took a little long to get to Venom.
Yeah.
Can we get to Venom? I'm here to see
When they,
Venom.
when
Let's
they
get there.
cut to the 6 months ahead, I thought that was a really interesting. I was like,
Andy and I
whoa,
laughed. I was like, okay,
bold. Yeah.
Okay.
cool, because it didn't need to be 6 months.
Yeah.
It could have just been the next day. I get.
They've been testing
That they had to
them
get testing.
and killing some of the symbiotes.
But I also love that this guy's master
Survive.
plan was like, hey, everyone, I want everyone, this is super secret. So all 75 of you that are in the room right now, let's make sure we keep this secret.
hey, raise your hand if you think we got a homeless problem.
yeah.
I have a solution.
Here's your solution.
Can you sign this
There's
NDA?
so many
or
people
anything?
in on this evil plan that I'm like, not. She's the only one that had a problem.
Oh,
Dude,
I wasn't in the
dude,
room.
My-
I was in the restroom for that.
The best.
So many people
The
that I know
best
about this.
comical scene that wasn't meant to be comical when he's getting ready to launch.
Oh.
He's like, do away with the diagnostics, and they like zoom over his shoulder on
Why?
the doctor we've seen like twice, and the guy's like, I was like, what? And he's like, who? Or,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know. At
who's
some
that guy?
point, someone should say something to this guy.
best
We've
scene.
killed literally
And how the
dozens of
symbiote
homeless people.
understands that he's typing in the abort codes.
Well,
So
it's
I'm like,
funny. I thought they were gonna cut back to that because he opened it to the abort like operations page
Yeah.
and then was murdered. And I was like, oh, now the
She's
girl's
gonna come in and do
but
that
no, they
now.
didn't. It still went off.
She came in and just turned up the fucking volume. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Cranked some
Figured it out,
decibels.
man.
She can
when
fight
Venom
ugly.
also immediately, again, to the exposition line of this, like, oh man, he's on that. No, it's too loud. This will kill us. Oh, and fire. And fire will kill them
76,000.
too.
Oh, fire
why,
too,
is,
okay.
why are you, Venom, why are you saying all your weaknesses right now?
Also, just throwing it out, if you know fire will kill Carnage, or no, it's not Carnage, it's Riot, right?
Riot.
If you know fire can kill him, and he's about to go into a gigantic fucking rocket full of rocket fuel, why not just let him go into the rocket? And then as it takes off, blow it up.
That's
Like,
what
why
Venom did,
fight
man.
him?
That's what Venom did. Well, he wanted to get it, the way it's supposed to
We
be.
have to
couple
have
licks in.
we have to have that CGI fight, man.
God, that
But
was
which-
bad. It was
no.
so boring.
Hey, they
watching
took a page out of
CGI.
they took a page out of Marvel's book, right? Just whatever the hero is, have him fight the villain of the same power.
But like that would have been such a cool thing to someday see with actually like the Carnage Venom fight.
Yeah.
Which is what I assume inspired that. But like they just did it. You know, and it's just
well,
like
they should. I
alright.
mean,
Hey,
whatever.
man, everyone, maybe we should just, let's say this. Let's go back in where we said, hey, under no circumstances should all of you see this movie. Cut that out. Tell everyone to go see it because then we'll get Carnage.
I don't want to see.
No,
that was
yeah,
my,
you don't want
Shout
that.
out
He's-
to the mid-credit
Kevin and I were
scene.
talking in the car when it pops. Yeah, the mid credit scene pops up and it's Woody Harrelson. I was like, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, it just sucks. We'll never get that movie. And I'm like, now it's probably best we don't get that movie
Yeah.
because like even I'm sure Woody Harrelson. A fucking amazing
Knock it out of the
actor.
park.
Tom Hardy's
Could
a great actor.
Best
Could
part
totally
solo.
kill it.
Yeah.
If you're getting bad direction and bad script and bad effects and bad fight, like I don't want. No, it's not worth it.
The effects weren't that bad, right?
I don't think
I
that-
thought
I
when
didn't
like
think that-
I thought full Venom very cool. I
Yeah.
thought when Eddie Brock is fighting in the apartment and does the first one where his arm turns it, and I was like, that looks
That looks
fake
bad.
as fuck. That looks terrible.
I guess that's the point. Like I saw some criticism that was rendered about this movie that I was like, it can't possibly be. But a lot of people were saying this movie looks and feels like it was made during the Raimi Spider-Man days. Like it feels like they just have not seen any
Fight
other.
scenes are better.
Well, the fight scenes
I
are
feel
only,
great.
only better because they're technologically more advanced. But like if you contrast that all the scenes in this with the creativity of that one scene that was the very the footage they played of Into the Spider-Verse at the end of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like,
It feels like those two movies are made in different fucking eras.
and that was the
of
thing of
filmmaking.
like, what a great like. First off, hey, we're Sony. Thanks for waiting this long. Here's an extended look at Into the Spider-Verse. And then secondly, though, hey, here's a real movie. Like you can just see this, and you're like, we laughed. That was like the most enjoyable thing we did tonight.
Oh god, it was great.
Yeah.
and it makes
No.
but it makes you wonder. It's like,
disagree.
why are you pushing
Wait,
this
what?
movie so hard?
You know, like
The most enjoyable part was the little dog.
oh
yeah,
my God.
Did
I was
the
like, how did
dog
they not
not
eat that
die?
dog? No.
Dog
Well,
didn't die.
after like I feel like every time he was going into stuff and then getting out, it
But-
died after.
well, remember,
I
it's-
guess he
it's-
wasn't in there
the
very
hosts have
long.
different.
Well, it's the thing that
was
this is
consuming
what
it.
they gave here at the end. Yeah, is that it was the symbiotes were consuming the host to stay alive as long as they were. So I think if it just did it for a little bit and got out, it wouldn't have really consumed you that much.
And then why did the other two symbiotes? No, is it? Yeah, the other two symbiotes. Why did they die if they were just consuming their hosts?
I think they
Ran
just
out of juice, man.
Well, I think that they ran out and they couldn't live in the atmosphere and they couldn't get back into whatever atmosphere. Again, who cares?
But like it just had that scene where it's like, all right, here's the doctor lady that
Yeah.
helped dead, and there's a symbiote
Dead
next
as
to
well.
it.
Yeah.
Dead. It's
But
like
He
you
said
guys
something
let this happen.
who's watching it? So I must have run out of things.
Yeah.
But all of those, like all of these incredibly interesting moments, like when he becomes Riot, like when Eddie Brock gets hit by the symbiote, like actually that moment was good. But a lot of the other moments were just so they're like done in cutaways where you're like, wait a minute, go back to that. What was that? I want to see what's going on there. And they just, it's you can definitely tell this movie got into some trouble, and there was editors brought in like, how do we triage this fucking thing? Like, how do we cut around this and make it somewhat sensible and somewhat entertaining?
There was you could tell there were a lot of editing, a lot of like editing after the fact because there was so much bad ADR.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bad ADR. My favorite scenes though was just Venom moving and traversing. I
Yep,
thought
when he ran up the Transamerica Pyramid, and that was cool.
fucking awesome.
But he
I
never
think
swung
that-
from anything.
Yeah,
I think
he
that was a
did.
fake
Yeah.
building. Yeah, when he swings into that thing and they're
Yeah,
like,
but I wanted to
"How
see
did
him like
this
shoot the
happen?"
web out of his
No, I mean,
hands like normal.
Yeah, but
we saw
there's
some
no,
of-
there's no Spider-Man. They
Yeah.
don't know. They don't. How would you think to do that? You
We
know?
saw
why
some
would
of that
you?
when
Yeah.
he was in the fight with Riot and he shoots out like on the walkway and then swings around
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like That stuff looked really cool because it just reminded me of the cartoon
I liked
and video games.
when he went to the same scene of the office building when he came back down and had to engage with all those cops. I thought that was fun.
Me too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That was him being Venom and tearing
But
people apart.
that just seemed more like Prototype than Venom, you know?
But I mean, what did you want? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you. Venom is anchored in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
my thing. Is like what I really
But they
want
own
is I
that.
want a few movies that build Venom up as a bad guy, really make me care about the character as like whatever he's got going on, and then make him fight Spider-Man. That's what I really want. I think that's what everyone really wants.
No,
Nobody
what
really
everybody
wants
really
this
wants
movie.
is them just to stop doing this and Sony stop making these movies,
Yeah.
and then
Stop
like
it.
here you go, MCU.
Stop it, Sony. Shame
We're
on
just
you, you
leasing
pieces.
you back your own license, and then give me Far From Home.
Yeah.
Give me one more maybe that brings the symbiote into the universe. Give me him
Miles?
wearing the black
Yeah.
outfit, tearing it off at the end. Don't even give me Venom in that. Just establish.
Yeah,
You know what I
let's
mean?
establish. Like, take your
fucking
time.
play it.
You have so many fun
Tom
things
Holland
you
be
can do with
35 by the time this is done with my
And then
plan.
they kill him off.
But
There
that's
we go. Good
fine
enough.
because he's
He'll
young
look
now. He
23.
can be the later Peter Parker. He can be later Spider-Man.
Later, Peter Parker.
Later Peter Parker.
But yeah, I was just like, when Venom, like when they got him out of Tom Hardy, I was like, all right, now he's gonna be fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
And he takes over the dog and sees Michelle Williams, and is like, all right,
That was
he's not gonna kill her. He's not
see,
gonna find her.
a perfect example. I don't think I was supposed to laugh as hard as I did at that
We
moment.
laughed really
but
hard.
we laughed really fucking hard because that dog was so cute and
Yeah.
it just couldn't stop. Like she just turns around and like it was like a horror shot.
Yeah.
It turns around and like rack focuses to this little dog.
And then they become friends. Like
Yeah.
when she's
Yeah.
like She-Venom or whatever.
Yeah. They needed a few more story beats in to really establish like the relationship with Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock's
Well, those
character.
probably the 40
being
minutes
a
they cut.
loser, the Venom being a loser also, and then them actually bonding over that. And there was absolutely at no point was there anything that happened. And this is the biggest problem with the plot, the character development, is at no point was there any reason why Venom should have been like, I want to stay here and save this planet, and he just decides to flip a switch.
Yeah,
and
flip
that's
the
it.
switch, right? Yeah.
And that sucks because you can tell that was the story. That was going to be like the main character development for those two, and that was going to be a huge driving force, and it just didn't come together.
And it's that normal thing too, where at the end of the film, him having the conversation with Venom, explaining good and bad people, eating that hold up artist in the woman's shop or whatever, and her totally.
She seemed pretty cool with that.
She's just like, hey, that thing just ate something in front of me. What's going on? I got a parasite, and he leaves or whatever.
I mean, to be fair, she's been robbed by this guy at least twice.
Sure, but there's still something about seeing a black monster suck in someone, come back to being your friend, and be like, "What? Where did it all go? What happened? What is going on?"
I'd
And
be
he-
like, you get free goldfish forever.
Yeah.
Please don't come back here.
but like when he left and they kept talking, I was like, "That's like if I know we couldn't jump to that point, but like, all right, I'm kind of interested to see what
I
shenanigans
wish they
you
would
get
have
into.
just like leaned way more into
comedy."
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's where it succeeded the most, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you juxtapose comedy with that Venom, right? Like it needed
It's not
to
going to be that Venom. That's the
I know,
problem.
that's
It's
the
like
problem.
if you're not going to play him as a villain, like it's not going to be that.
It was
Venom.
a buddy cop movie. Is
Yeah.
what we want.
It was a weird buddy cop.
It was a
movie.
weird one. So
And it wasn't
weird.
very good.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either.
Weird.
But it's just fun.
It's one of those that I'm like, I hope I never have to watch that again. I hope we never do another one of these
Then that's
Spider-Man
a
where we
bad
decide to
movie,
throw more
you know?
Spider-Man
like
movies in
we,
there.
that's a bad movie then.
Oh, it's definitely
none
a
of
bad
us
movie.
I think it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
all right.
It's just not atrocious. Like at least it stood on its own 2 feet. And I can say from start to finish, I was like, all right, well, I know where this is going, but it went there. Great.
If I were to put a number, I was telling Nick in the car.
Don't jump ahead yet.
No, he's just going to
number.
put a random
Just a
score on
number.
it. The Andy score.
Oh, okay.
42.
Hey, it's Andy.
What's the
Gonna
scale?
score
Just a random score.
movie.
Andy, what'd you score it?
It's
Andy, what'd you score it?
He's
You already
gonna
did the score.
a
Andy, what'd you
movie.
score it?
I don't think they
What's
were
the score?
listening.
What's the score?
5.7 out of 10.
Ooh-wee!
That's what it would be.
Not bad.
Close call.
Thanks.
The other one.
Dun 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 down.
Ragu.
Dun 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 down.
Bagu.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ragu Bagu Vids, the podcast within a podcast. It's called Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, and we rank all the Spider-Man villains. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez,
Hey, what's up, guys?
and the glue, Kevin Coelho.
Now, since Tim isn't
we
here,
don't, we
can
don't
I
look at the
fill in?
live chat. We don't look at the live
Can I-
chat, sir. We don't look. If you'd like to run our Twitter, twitter.com/ragubaguvids, you go to patreon.com/kindafunny, slip us a cool $69, just like anyone in the live chat can. And you, do you have $69, sir?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Well, you've already started speaking. What do you want to say,
I was
sir?
going to say, well, since Tim's not here, do you think I could fill in his role in Ragu
Tim's
Bagu?
not part of the Ragu
Well,
Bagu.
here's what Tim does during Ragu Bagu. He sits there. He literally sits there
just
like someone
stares
just
off
pissed
into-
in his mouth. He's like,
Yeah.
I could be getting a sunburn right now.
I could be doing
right
business
now.
calls.
I could be doing business calls. Worst to best on the Ragu Bagu Spider-Man list goes number 6, Venom / New Goblin / Sandman. Number 5, Electro and Gonby. Gobby is what I meant, but I typed it wrong. Number 4 is Norman Gosborn. Number 2 is Lizzie.
Gosborn?
Number 1 is .con.
You gotta fix your auto spell.
You know, well, okay. First off, I think we did Gosborn on purpose because it was Norman Osborn also becoming the guy.
That's clever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very clever.
Also becoming the Goblin.
Where do you want to rank fucking evil Elon Musk?
I'd put
In
him.
Riot.
I'd maybe put him at the maybe 5th.
Yeah. Or
No,
you fifth?
6th.
Yeah, exactly. Under
Sixth.
Electro and Gobby and
Yeah.
above Venom, New
Yep,
Goblin,
yep.
Sandman. I agree. We're putting in evil Elon.
Damn, I don't
Musk
know if it should be below Electro.
slash
No, it's better than that.
slash.
It is better.
Yeah, it's better than that. Not much.
Riot.
Not much better.
Yeah, no, it's better than that. Remember the Electro fight was fun. We liked that, right?
No, I'm saying this is better than Electro.
No.
I know, and I'm
Yeah,
saying we
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Electro.
Yeah.
I'm arguing why I should stay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oof. It might be better than Electro Gobby.
I'm sorry, we already wrote it down. Number 5. Y'all should have thought it. Y'all went, yeah,
Good
I got
enough.
it down.
Good
I just
enough.
think
I like how
Rizamed's
you do business.
performance-
That's how the rules
Business.
is.
I like your
I
You know
like
what
it.
I
I'm
mean?
in.
I got
I do.
things to do,
We
and
got
it
shit
ain't
to
fucking
go, man.
sitting here talking
There's
about
a frozen
Ragu
burrito
Bag
somewhere
here.
in someone's future.
You get a frozen burrito?
Maybe.
I mean, he might,
Yeah,
but
so
I'm
funny.
in a real discussion. I just like, they were just so whatever.
Yeah. In every sense.
Elon
You're right.
Musk
There's
just
not even.
hates fucking homeless people.
But I think
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Rizamed's acting was far better than what either of those two did.
Electro or Gobby?
Yeah.
I think he was better than Gobby. I think Electro was just being Electro, man.
You
What was
like
one- what-
Electro's
what-
character?
No, I don't like any. They're
Alright.
number 4. You know what I mean? That's not,
Remember when the electricity cured the gap between his teeth?
Good
Really
movie.
cool, man.
Good movie.
Really
man.
cool.
All right, so as you know, ladies and gentlemen, we rank each every one of these Spider-Man movies. We are not officially ranking Venom today because
Yeah.
we need Big Tim Gettys back
I just
in it.
want
don't
to
like it.
taste.
Give me a taste. Corey, let me see
just
where we
wanna
stand
taste.
right now.
Can you bring this
Right
graphic
now,
up?
the ranking for the Spider-Man movies goes like this. Number 1, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 2, The Amazing Spider-Man. Number 3, Spider-Man 2. Number 4, Spider-Man. Number 5, blank. And number 6, Spider-Man 3. Because we hate Spider-Man 3.
My prediction for this is that we're gonna put it right in that empty spot of 5.
Number 5.
You think so?
I think it's going to be above the first Spider-Man.
I'd also put it above the first Spider-Man. It's just
Wow.
movies, unfortunately, don't age well.
I'll be honest.
Especially not good ones.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I would probably, if I were being 100% like sincere, I would probably agree with you guys. But I just can't do it. I just can't.
It is
I
not
just
better
got.
than
It's
Spider-Man.
not.
The anti-Raimi bias on this panel is
It's getting deep.
disgusting.
You
know what
guys,
I mean?
the Green Goblin, come
And
on.
you know Tim's gonna come in here and be like, yeah, no, it's better than all the Raimi movies. That's what Tim's gonna do. I mean, like, I think, of course, as you know, where Amazing Spider-Man ranks has broken the entire system. I think it's better than the Amazing Spider-Man, but I am not gonna push for Venom to be number 2. I will probably vote at number 5.
Yeah, I would probably say number 5 as well. For
Well,
me.
we will
All right,
see.
well,
We
we'll
will
see what
We will see.
Tim comes. It's another split thing.
yeah, interesting.
It's just on Tim. You want to call him right now? See what time it is?
I still think it's crazy that
well, Tim
Spider-Man
hasn't
2 is
seen it
number
yet.
1.
Bali. I know, just but call him. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Thanks
crazy.
for. I remember when we had a chance to veto it and fix it all, and you're like, "No, you didn't help me with MCU."
Yeah,
and
you
you
fucker.
fucking
You
guys,
batarang
you know,
down
you
here.
told me.
Hey man, Hulk's up there. You know what I mean? Higher than.
At least we got MCU right.
Well,
So to
Soldier's
keep
too high on
the
that list.
scheduling on the tip of your tongue, ladies and gentlemen, no matter if you're listening to the podcast or watching the videos, what we do when we do one of these late, because of course MCU is supposed to post every morning. Every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. For a new release movie like this, we let it cook an entire week. So Venom's review will stay up now as you're watching it all the way through, and then on the 18th we will return with the definitive Spidey in review, where we will finally make the votes, share our personal lists, and yell at each other. And I expect everyone on Reddit to back me that the Raimi movies got screwed over. Cool Greg's nodding over there. I take that as him being
Spider-Man 2
complicit.
best
No,
movie
Cool-
ever, bro.
Cool Greg's just happy this is done.
of us, you mess with all of us.
God, Homecoming's so good. Thank God for
They
Homecoming.
should gift that. Somebody needs to give Goblin as MCU in review and all the New Yorkers, the viewers of this podcast. And like, you messing with Spider-Man 2, you messing with all of us.
I see. You want it to be like one of the text gifts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they should.
Spider-Man 2 better than Dark Knight.
That is a great mashup. We reach out to you, angry internet people, to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Venom in Review. We didn't like it all that much. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below on YouTube. If you are driving and listening, roll down your window and shout. Just shout your Venom appearance.
Venom!
Can you hear me?
We're all tired.
It's been a long day. Until next time, Andy.
I have a Marvel. No, so
Nah,
swing
you-
around next time.
Venom. We are Venom.